Hey everybody, Pappy here with Oops Daisy Adventure, where I believe the best adventures happen when my plans fall apart. Had a couple of people asking about doing a gear drop, so I'm going to go ahead and go over what's in my bag, what's on my bag, and what I'll be wearing. I'll go back later and put all of the weights of everything down below. It's just a little too distracting to try to remember the weight of everything and go back and find it on a list. So I'll start out with the big three. Start out with my backpack. I have got the 65 liter Atmos Osprey. Got a few things that probably need to be fixed, and I know Osprey will do that for me, but I'm getting too close to my thru hike to send my pack off and take a chance of it not being back. It's been many miles and many trips with me. It's getting old, but I think it has got a thru hike in it, and then I'll probably retire it after the thru hike. On my pack, I do have an REI waterproof phone pouch just to help me out with keeping up with my phone and keeping it close so I can pull it out in video. And my wife, who does competitive shooting, came back from one of her matches with a K-bar neck knife. It is super lightweight, super sharp, and keeping it right there on my chest is just really handy for me. So she graciously gave me this knife, and I will be carrying it on trail with me. That should be about everything with my pack. I am not going to pull my tent out, but I do have the Big Agnes Tiger Wall two-person tent inside of this pack that I had got from Hilltop Packs. Has my entire tent, my footprint, everything that I need to set my tent up except for my trekking poles. It's just a nice, handy way. If it gets wet, I can keep it separate from everything. I'm probably not going to carry the bag with my poles, but for now it just helps me keep it organized. But I'm not going to set the tent up or pull it out and show it to you. It's a tent that I've been using for quite a while now. Never had any problems out of it, so we're going to continue to use what I know. And then a new piece of equipment that I just got from Outdoor Vitals. Since I'm starting January 1st, and on my last shakedown hike, which I did not put in my videos, I got a big rip in my 20-degree quilt. Loved my 20-degree quilt. I could stay comfortable and right at 0-degree weather, definitely down into the single digits. It was super lightweight, but I decided, since I'm starting out in January and there will be at least 2, maybe 3 months that it is going to be cold, instead of having to do the extra work, wear the extra layers, all of that, I went ahead and got the Storm Loft 0-degree. I slept outside in 20-degree weather in this, and I had to undo the neck and open it up. It is super warm. So I know I'll be okay through at least February, may even keep it into March, just until the weather really starts to pick up. Then I'll probably swap it out for a lighter quilt. Not sure exactly what I will go with, but Outdoor Vitals Storm Loft 0-degree to get me going on my quilt. Okay, let me go ahead and start out with what I will be wearing. Of course, I've got my outdoor research hat that I just like to keep my whole head and neck in the shade. It's a comfortable hat for me, very lightweight. I'll be wearing it most of the time. Had a friend at the Pick and Post. He's wanting to do an interview with me before I start out. He said, I'll give you a baseball hat, and I might carry it and wear it some in town, things like that. But most of the time when I'm out on trail, I'll have on my outdoor research hat. Of course, if you've seen any of my videos, I'm allergic to color. I can't stand bright things, as you can see by what I'm wearing here. This is my Jolly Gear sun hoodie. It is super lightweight, quick drying. This is what I wear when I went over Cleveland's Dome at 6 degrees that night. By mid-morning, it was up in the low 20s. I had to shed everything else, and I was just wearing this in my pants because I'm a very hot hiker. Good thing about this is it soaks up sweat really well, wicks it away, and I hang it up when I'm eating lunch. When I leave from lunch, it's dry. This has just really been a very enjoyable shirt for me, and it does carry a lot of the color. And since there will be a few places that still have hunting season going on when I start, it'll be nice to have some bright colors out in the woods. So that'll be the shirt that I'm wearing most of the time, especially in the winter time. The pants, nothing special. They're just a pair of Ascend that I think I got at Walmart. Just comfortable, good. Not waterproof, but water resistant pants. And I wear darn tough socks. Got these a little bit heavy duty with the extra thick wool. I'll carry them to start with, and I've got a thinner pair that I'll keep as my extra socks. But I mean, it's just hard to beat. When you get a hole in it, they'll replace it. Hoping I won't wear through them too quickly, but it's nice to know that I can replace them if I do. So darn tough socks. Then my shoes. There's a little bit of a hiccup here. I don't know how y'all feel about it, but I am a Alta Lone Peak through and through. Love them, love them, love them. These are the Lone Peak 7s. I've had a lot of trouble since they tried to turn them into running shoes, not hiking shoes, but running shoes, and put vents in them. They hurt us. They took the vents out, but now they put that new sole on them. And I tried on the Lone Peak 9s, and they hurt my insole. I just never could get comfortable with them. But I hate to go away from something that I know, the wide foot box, just the comfort of my Altas. And I will start out wearing these Lone Peak 7s. But when they finally have to be replaced, I'm taking a chance here, and I have taken them out hiking a few times. It feels to me like they went back to the old Lone Peak design for these new Superiors. So these were actually on clearance. They were a little bit cheaper. They are more lightweight. The tread is not quite as massive as the tread for the Lone Peaks, but the tread is good for hiking. I got a couple of pair of these. I wear them around just like tennis shoes, but I am going to give them a try on trail. I'm going to start out when these Lone Peak 7s give out on me. I'm going to try these and see how long they last. I've got a couple of pair of these, so I'll replace with these unless they are not as strong, and the toe cover, everything seems to be exactly what I'm looking for, and it's more of a, I don't know, I think maybe the ultralight people would like this a little bit better because it's a little more minimalist. It doesn't have quite as many bells and whistles as the Lone Peaks, but I'm going to give them a try. So when I get into camp and it's cold, of course, I'm carrying my puffy. My puffy is different than almost everyone else's on trail because mine is an Eddie Bauer. I got this at the outlets in Gatlinburg, and the shell was really heavy, but the puffy's got the big inside pocket. It does not have a hood, which I kind of wish it did. But the puffy has just been really good for me. I've taken it on a lot of trips. It's nice and warm when I get into camp, so I'm going to move forward with my Eddie Bauer. For the rain, I have my REI rain jacket. This one right here is lightweight. It is super. It keeps me dry when I'm out on trail. I don't really like wearing a rain jacket that much. In the winter, I have to. But in the spring and fall and summer, I'll just throw this over my pack, maybe put the hood over my head. I would just as soon hike and get wet and then try to dry out. And in the wintertime, that's a little more dangerous, so I'll probably be wearing my rain jacket a little bit more just because of that very thing. Ooh, I did not go over my sleeping mat. My sleeping mat is a Thermarest. It is the one with the topographical map on it. It is the Thermarest Neo Air Topo Luxe. This one has, I think it's a 3.1, 3.2 R value. It has served me well on all of my cold weather hikes. I am going to continue on with it. I also have the straps that hold my quilt in place. I use them just to hold it in. I put this in with my tent Everything I need at camp, I put in that one Hilltop stuff sack just to keep it all together. Put it in the bottom of my bag, and when I get to camp, everything I need to set up my sleep system is there. I pull it out and go to setting it up. Okay, the other thing that will be on my pack that has kind of a unique story, I have always carried a smart water bottle. I will carry a smart water bottle on this trip, the 1 liter water bottle. I never got into the Nalgene kick, you know, everybody buying the Nalgene bottles. Oh, you can use them as hot water bottles, blah, 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 blah. But I have carried this one for 15, 20 years. I don't even remember how long I've had this one. The thing I like about it is the cap opens up, goes through the strap on my backpack, and it hangs right there. I don't need a pouch. It's got a little metal lock that locks it in place. When I get thirsty, I pop it, pull it out, drink, put it back. This is my this is my mix water bottle. So I will put my energy drink in here. I will put my Elements or liquid IV, whatever kind of mixes I need to mix up. I use this bottle to mix it up. It's a little bit heavier, but like I said, I've always had it with me. And it wasn't until I was really looking at an Nalgene bottle, thinking about buying one, debating on whether or not I should, that I looked at this one a little bit closer and realized that it's a Nalgene bottle. This is an old school Nalgene bottle before they went wider with wider tops and all of that stuff. It does have a wide top, but not quite as wide as what they make now. So I do actually carry an Nalgene bottle, believe it or not. The other bottle that I carry that's a little bit of added weight, I carry this one mostly in the winter, is this uninsulated aluminum bottle. If I have to camel up, I can put extra water in here. But what I do with this is I boil water before I go to bed. I put it in here, slide it down in one of my clean socks, put it in the inner pocket of my puffy, and when I go to bed, this thing keeps me nice and toasty. And when I wake up in the morning, the water's still warm. So I usually use that water to pour in my oatmeal or cook breakfast or whatever I need. I just use the water that's in this bottle, and then as it cools off, I'll drink it during the day, pour it in my mixed bottle, whatever I need. Usually it's empty though on trail. It's just when I get to camp that I'll fill it up with clean boiled water. Speaking of boiling water, I do carry a jet boil. Had some thru hikers laughing at me because, well, what you got that big old heavy thing for? This really is just ounces heavier than just your titanium pot and your little bitty cook stove. But the same people that were laughing at me were sitting there putting their little aluminum foil wraps and things around their cook stove to get it to cook because of the wind. And the jet boil's got a wind guard, and I have never had weather bad enough that this wouldn't get water boiling in just a couple of minutes. It also is wrapped, so I can pick it up by this handle. I can actually pick it up by the pot, even when it's got boiling water in it, and it doesn't burn me. So it's big enough. It holds my funnel to make my hot water bottle. It holds my lighter. The stove is in there, and a small can of fuel will fit right down in there on top of it. Everything in one place and everything out of the way. So I will stick with my jet boil because it has been just it's easy for me. I don't cook in my pot. I use the method where I'm using a freezer bag and I pour the boiling water in the freezer bag. So this works good for me, and it's just what I'm comfortable with. Okay, speaking of cooking, I have made me a heat pouch. This is actually made from one of the little window visors that goes up in your car dash. I cut it down. I'm going to have to put some new tape on there. But I've made a pocket in there with a little bit of Velcro. I put my water in the freezer bag and the dehydrated meal. I put everything inside of this and close it up and just set it down, and it helps to trap the heat in. Also, it's not a bad little sitting pad, or if I have something hot, I want to set it on top of that to keep it from making a mess, then this is good. This is a good multi-purpose tool. I also ordered from Hilltop Packs my placemat to go outside my tent to set my pack on and to set on the picnic table when I'm cooking. They put my logo on there along with my saying, "The best adventures happen when my plans fall apart." I got a food bag, mat, and a stuff sack from them with my logo on it. There's my food bag. I did get the extra large food bag. I'm hoping I don't need one that big, but I just did not, I don't want to have a big carry and not have room in my food bag. Okay, my clothes. I really don't want to pull everything out of here, but I guess since it's a gear drop, I will go ahead and just, I'm still using the Ozark Trail bag, dry bag. I may transfer some of this into my stuff sack if there's room. I just don't want my dry stuff in with my tent and all that could possibly get wet. I have my extra darn tough socks. This is my hiking shirt that I usually just wear when I'm in town washing clothes. Once it starts to get hotter, I'll wear this shirt a lot more. This shirt is from the Day Hiker. It's just a little polyester shirt, very lightweight. It wicks away the sweat and stuff. Like I said, I sweat a lot when it's warm. The Day Hiker is just a little outfitter up close to the Friar Tuck Donuts in Gatlinburg, there in that little city square or town square. I picked this up years and years ago. It's been on many, many summer hikes with me. I have a little pair of REI shorts. I carry these. So far in the summer, I will wear shorts from time to time hiking. I carry those mainly like when I'm at a hostel or someplace and I need to have something to wear. And then I also sleep in those. When it's cold, I will put on my REI long handle underwear and I'll put on the shorts over it, and that's usually what I will sleep in. And someone was asking me because I do not carry an extra pair of hiking pants. Well, what happens if your hiking pants get wet? Well, I'm probably going to hike in them. If it's super cold and I need to take those wet clothes off, I will put on my thermal underwear, my shorts over it, and then I'll hike in that. I've done it before. It's not that big a deal, and it keeps me from having to carry an extra pair of pants. I have, from REI, I also got the Smart Wool thermal undershirt. This is basically my pajamas when I'm in camp, my extra socks, and one extra shirt, and that is that is the clothes that I carry with me when I'm on trail. I've got these head gloves right here. These are not the ones I'm carrying hiking. Just I have asked for some for Christmas and should be getting me a pair for Christmas that are a little bit thinner than that. The only time I really need gloves when I'm out is taking camp down. When I get out of bed and I start taking my tent apart, stuff like that, my fingers start to get a little bit numb and cold. Usually when I get into camp, my blood is pumping so much, setting up doesn't hurt my hands. My hands don't get cold when I'm hiking. So I'm getting me a little bit thinner pair. I'm going to start out with them. I've got plenty of winter gloves here. If they're not good enough, I'll have Jessica bring me up a pair when she comes to visit. But I'm going to start out with some little thin gloves from Costco, I think it is. Okay, one other thing. I'm going to make a few changes to some of my gear. Right now I have this Sea to Summit titanium spork. I've used it on several hikes and I've come to the realization I do not like sporks. This right here has never helped me. It has gotten in the way on my bag and trying to scoop up the last little scoop and all of that more times, and it's never helped me, but it's hurt me a couple times. But I think instead of getting a new titanium spoon, I think I am going to go to Dairy Queen and get one of their long red blizzard spoons. And I'm probably going to start out with just a plastic spoon because most of the stuff I eat, plastic spoon will be fine. And if it breaks, I can very easily replace that. I am carrying the Garmin InReach Mini 2. I will be sharing my map locations. I'll turn the tracking on every day. So I'm hoping that if I share my my map and make it public in my descriptions, you'll be able to click on the map, and then wherever I'm at, even though the video may say I'm in Hot Springs, it will show you where I'm actually hiking, so you can keep up to date with where I'm at. I am not a small woman on trail, so I don't care if everybody knows my exact location. For the women, I totally understand when you want to fool everybody and have them think you're someplace you're not, but I don't care about that. So I will probably share my location so that anybody out there that wants to see where I'm at can see, and if they want to come up and hike with me, they'll know where to find me. Something for some of you heavier people that you may not know about is the Body Glide. I do carry a roll of Body Glide. It's like deodorant, but I apply that in areas that rub. And when I'm wearing, I have actually gotten chafed a little bit and starting to think, oh no, my hike is ruined. Remember, I've had this in the pack, pulled it out and put it on after the chafing started, and it went away. It was just, it keeps me from getting any kind of rubs in places that I don't want to have rubs when I'm walking, so I will be carrying that with me. My toothbrush thing is kind of funny because I was watching a ultralight hiker, and he cut the handle off his toothbrush, so he's having to just hold it like that to brush his teeth. And he said, it's not because of the weight, I just don't want a big old handle sticking out of my pack. And I thought, well, then why don't you go get a travel toothbrush, because this is how big it is. It doesn't weigh any more than a regular toothbrush. Now I have a handle and I can brush my teeth. Then I take it apart and put it back together. It's got little air holes in there so it can actually dry out and not get moldy and mildew. I do not remember where I got this, but I am going to try to find out, and I'll let y'all know when I do, because I want to get me a couple more so I can replace it as I go. But this is my hiking traveling toothbrush. I also, of course, carry toothpaste and an extra sport bottle cap, because I like my sport bottle. If something happens when I'm out on trail, I'll be able to replace it. It doesn't even register when I try to weigh it, so it's not very heavy. My wife also got me the Flex Tail pad inflator. I have put the one that fits my pad on there, and I will carry it with me. If you have a different pad, I won't be able to help you, because this one is very specific just to my pad, and I will, it's rechargeable, and it's a lifesaver when I get into camp and don't want to blow up my pad. Okay, first ditty bag is going to be, and this one usually goes in this ditty bag. It stays in the brain, where it's easy to get to because it has my water filter and toilet paper in it. It also, I'm going to get a smaller bottle than this, but I carry at least 4 to 5 days of vitamins, a couple of ibuprofen in here, and I may start carrying some of the nighttime Tylenol, just in case there's nights I can't sleep, I can knock myself out with that. I carry some hand sanitizer. I have a smaller bottle than this that I will probably be putting in my pack. I always carry some chapstick and an extra lighter. On the extra lighter, I have put my duct tape. I'm probably going to, on the other, one of the lighters will have the moleskin, one of the lighters will have the duct tape. And I carry some small earplugs, because being a snorer myself, I know how aggravating I can be, and I don't want to be kept awake by a snorer. Also, I'm pretty used to the sounds outside my tent now when I'm sleeping, but I don't think I hear a bear when the squirrels are playing outside when I have my earplugs in. I figure if a bear is going to come through my tent, the earplugs are not going to keep me from hearing that. My water filter system is the Sawyer Mini. I know there's maybe better ones out there, but I like my Sawyer Mini. It takes good care of me. I will be carrying an extra washer, because mine fell out not long ago. Luckily, I found it, but I'm going to have an extra one just in case that were to happen. And I'm going to start out with my backwash plunger. If there are backwash plungers at a lot of the hostels and stuff, I may send this home to save weight. But that's something, I'm keeping my filter cleaned out. I sleep with it in the winter. I make sure that it's taken care of, because water when you're on a long hike like this is super important. So that is the ditty bag that has got all of my personal care needs, that stays in the brain of my backpack. I do have a little Arto wedge pillow that I carry with me. I'm swapping it out for something square. This last time when I went and it was kind of cool, I had a problem with it wanting to slide out from under me. And I felt like I was getting out of my quilt and pushing my pillow back where it needed to be more than I wanted to. I'm probably going to go with one of the ones that REI has, that has the strap holes built in, and I will strap it down so it doesn't move. It's just, I like to be comfortable when I'm sleeping. This wedge pillow just has not been what I wanted it to be, so nothing wrong with it, and it is super lightweight. I'm just going to go with something more of a rectangle square shape. Okay, now, some of the luxuries that I carry and some of the things that I have to carry. This is my heaviest ditty bag right here, of course. But I have not really done a lot of research on the battery. And I think I'm going to be able to reduce down a little bit by getting a lighter battery. Right now I've just got one of the, the Black Web that I get from Walmart. It's great. It carries a great charge. It'll charge my phone, keep everything charged up. Actually, it's too good. I leave with 50% charge, so I can go with a smaller battery and a lighter battery. So I'm gonna start experimenting with a couple of batteries between now and January 1st. See if I can't come up with something that'll lighten this particular bag. But this bag has got my cork ball in it. Yes, I carry a cork ball because I'm going to be 58 when I'm hiking the Appalachian Trail, and when I rub my feet out at night, it just helps me feel so much better. So I will carry the cork ball. My headlamp is a black diamond. It serves me really well. It's got the bright light, the camp light, and the red light. So I left the original strap on it. Didn't see any reason in trying to go super lightweight, put bungees on it. I know there are some lighter ones out there, and if this one ever falls apart and quits working, it's rechargeable. It should last me my whole hike. But if it ever quits working, I might go with something a little bit lighter, but I'm going to stick with what I know right now. I am carrying a bigger box than I need, but since I went to an iPhone 15, they have the C ports. I do have some cables that will go into a USB to a C, but when I'm in town, I want to be able to charge everything I've got at one time. This one has got 4 ports built into it. And I have a converter for the B. This was one of the best finds I found. I found this at the NOC. Actually, somebody found it for me. We had hiked into the NOC. We'd gotten some rooms. We were hanging out. They were going over to the store. I said, hey, if you see a charger, grab it for me. And they came back with this little cable right here that is a USB. It has got the iPhone charger, the C charger, and the other little mini charger. I'm not even sure what this one's called. This is the one that fits, well, I'm not sure if this one fits it or not. One of them fits my headlamp, and then the other one fits my Garmin, and then the C on there will fit my phone. So this is the only cable I have to take, with the exception of my great Garmin watch that charges with something that nobody else uses. So I carry my Garmin charger, I carry this one, and it will charge everything I've got, which keeps it light. And then I will bring one long C cable just so that I can charge multiple things at once. And when I'm in town and needing to work on my phone, it's good to be able to move. This is kind of short, and I can't really work on my phone when it's plugged in. So I will bring one of those. And then, like I said, I have got the battery. And this pack of electronics, which this one will go in the electronic bag, and cork ball, that's a heavy bag. And nothing I can do about it except hopefully lighten the battery. This one is heavier than it has to be, but that's because I do carry a few luxuries with me. One of them being the East Top Blues harmonica. No, I'm not any good at harmonicas, and I may just play on some of the videos to show y'all how bad I am. But when I get to camp and I'm by myself, I love to just sit back and play some music and listen to what animals say back to me. I'm carrying my little Bible, and this is a New Testament that the Gideons provided for me, and it's orange, so if I drop it, I will be able to find it. I carry it with me because it's very important for me to be able to read. I know I've got the Bible on my phone, but to me, it's not the same. I like to read it on paper. I carry my waterproof Write Anywhere paper and my waterproof Write Anywhere pen. And then I have my cordage, and this becomes my rock sack. So I can get all this stuff out, put a rock in there, throw it over a tree, and I have my bear hang, and I don't have to worry about it getting hung up on stuff, because that bag right there will pretty much come back over the limb every time I pull it. Where I've seen some people tie different things to their string, and the reason I know they tied different things to their string is because it's still hanging in the tree after they've gone, and I come in later and I see that piece of string hanging up there with something weird tied to it that got stuck on a tree limb. Good thing about these sacks like this, they don't stick quite as easily. Okay, trekking poles. This is a funny one. I don't really count these in my weight because I'm carrying them, not putting them in my pack. I always just use the Ozark Trails trekking poles. I'm older. It just makes me feel more comfortable going down the rocks and stuff, even if I'm not using it as leverage. When I'm going uphill, I use these things. So my Ozark Trails were fine, but I went in unclaimed baggage down in Scottsboro, and some poor soul lost their Trekology trekking poles to the airport. Their loss. It cost me about $10 to get a pair of, they didn't know what they had, get me a pair of Trekology trekking poles, 9 ounces each, not very heavy, very, very comfortable. I love my Trekology hiking poles. So whoever donated them to the airport and they ended up at unclaimed baggage, thank you so very much. Okay, last but not least, I think this is it. I have my pack down to 21 pounds, 6 ounces. I really want to get under 20. One way I could get under 20 is to stop carrying something that I'm not going to stop carrying. I have got me a Helinox camp chair. It is just a little over a pound. But, like I said, I'm 57, about to be 58. If you watched my shakedown hike, you saw me sitting there eating lunch in my camp chair with my feet up in the air, and it was a revelation to me. My feet hurt so much less. When I get into camp, I will hurry up and get everything set up, my pad inflated, my tent up if I'm not staying in the shelter, get my water, get everything ready. Then I sit down and I put on my camp shoes and I put my feet up either on the picnic table bench or a log that's there, and I lean back for a little while. I roll out my feet, and my feet just feel so much better that night. In the morning I get up, they are not stiff and everything. I think just having the opportunity to put my feet up like that regularly is worth carrying the extra weight to me. I like to be able to lean back, and I'm older, getting up and down. A girl I met on my shakedown hike, I was sitting there and I didn't have anything around me. She's like, "Are you going to be able to get out of that chair?" And I just kind of laughed. I said, "Well, I can roll out if I have to." But it is very low, but it allows me the opportunity to lean back and put my feet up. So I will be carrying that. And yes, that puts my pack over 20 pounds before food. Talking about my camp shoes, I have got a pair of slip-on sandals from Walmart. They are lighter than anything I've picked up in REI. They have the arch support built in. They actually massage my feet a little bit when I'm walking around camp. And I strap them on the back of my backpack because if I lose them, they cost me like $2.50 5 years ago. They're probably $5, $6 now, but still, they are very cheap, they're very light, and they are very comfortable. Okay, I'm sure there will be a lot of questions. Please, please, please subscribe if you have not subscribed. Like my channel, share my channel. Go down in the comments. Ask the questions that you want to ask. I am not trying to be an ultra lightweight hiker. I will be comfortable. I will carry what I need to carry. But if you have some ideas that would help me lighten some things up, like the batteries, things like that, I am open to suggestions. Every single thing I've got here comes from listening to other hikers when I've been out on the trail. I started out at 35-pound base weight. I'm down to 21 pounds with a camp chair because I've been listening to other people. I know they come out with new gear all the time. Being retired, I can't afford to just go buy anything I want, but being retired, I can go buy things when I need them. So if you have some comments, have questions, please feel free to share. Thank you so much for tuning in. And I guess you noticed my room here. This is where I get I get banished to the sun porch, and it's nice and comfortable, and I have a computer out here and everything I need, my map of the Appalachian Trail, all of these wonderful things. But it was sunny today, so I put one of Mom's quilts up, and it almost looks like stained glass in the video. So anyway, thank you for tuning in. I cannot wait for January 1st to get here, and I get to start being out on trail, sending some videos to y'all. Between now and then, just be praying for us. Go to the comments. Let me know what you think, and I will see y'all out on trail.